Hey, welcome everybody. It's Friday night at the crib. I posted the link on the left-hand side in case anybody else would like to join us. It's VXP weekend, and as I said in the liner notes, yeah, we're going to push hard for them to get the Hunter Killer Mortar back that we'd like to tonight. Go. I don't know who that was. I'm assuming it was George, but yeah, you're welcome to join us with that link on the right-hand side. And we have, all right, well, we'll go from the opposite direction because, no, this will work. From the left to right, it's Venom.
Hello.
Mr. Mike.
How are you doing, guys?
Pretty good. Father George.
Good evening.
Mr. Daniel.
Hi.
Two Doors.
Science.
And Dr. Doolittle, who's having technical difficulties at this point. And this is Hefe. So, yeah, it's VXP weekend. How is everybody doing? I'm going to put together a little live slide making in a minute to deal with the 101s, especially as it relates to the gridiron monolith, because there's a way to get a lot more. Even if you only have a single, a missile on there, there's a way to squeeze a lot more VXP out of those targets than just going in there and trying to kill as much stuff as you can in one shot and dying. But I'll try to get that together in the next couple minutes. But how is everybody else doing?
Mine are all done.
Yep, mine are all done as well.
Same.
Very good.
I've only gone out once.
I found you can kind of run that thing around in a circle and just start shooting missiles or not mortars, and just outrun the mortars and just keep going around in circles and banging the hell out of them. And once they're gone, get out.
Are you able to retreat?
Yeah. As long as I don't trigger that top set, you trigger one set at a time.
Okay, so maybe George was the only one that hadn't figured that out. So maybe I don't need to put the slide together.
So,
Word of advice: take your tank in. It's going to provide very minimal damage, hopefully, and it's going to shoot down a bunch of the antis. So your actual ships are going to take less damage and be able to fire freely at the enemy ships. And if you can kill the missile ships up front, if you have enough anti-mortars and enough accuracy, you'll be able to shoot down the mortars from the other ships and stall out for 30 seconds so they can retreat and then re-enter.
Yeah, retreating, re-entering is a big part of this because there's a maximum number of points you can get per encounter, and per encounter is, every time you retreat and re-enter, that's a different encounter. So, you can probably potentially quadruple 6 times your VXP until you die if you actually are able to retreat and then re-enter.
And once your ship has dealt damage equal to its armor, that's the max you can get for dealing damage. So do some math, shut up and deal with it. It's simple math. Figure out about how much you need to get in, punch them equal to your armor, kite around for 30 seconds, retreat, get out, come back in. I'm getting, 3891 VXP when I went in and suicided on a triple salty. So just that is 16 hits to skull a monolith, but you really want to have a mortar on that thing. It's going to make it a lot easier. You just hit the ships.
Yeah, I have speed system 5 and one OU10 on each one of the monoliths, and I just have SFB 3 and speed system 5 and a Harrier on my gridiron, and the gridiron's much more difficult to level up because of that, the minimal damage output.
And it's got twice the armor. I put an
that's
OU10 on my gridiron. I'm just going to refit it. I don't even care.
Yeah, I screwed up and put 2 OU10s on my gridiron. Didn't
Ooh.
realize. But
I
that's
just put a
It'll
missile on
be
mine. I'm doing shit.
You're doing what, George?
I just put a missile on mine. That's why mine ain't doing shit. I mean, the rest of them I can rank fine. It's just that gridiron that's taking forever.
Yeah, well, like I said, the way I was doing it, which a lot of people seem to be describing, I was able to get to mine to 66% with just 3 encounters with the gridiron. So I think 1 more, maybe 2 more.
3 encounters?
Well,
Like
3.
go in and leave 3 times? Oh.
No. 3 dying 3 times.
Oh, 3 deaths. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, 2 deaths, 2 deaths. I'm repairing right now, but yeah.
Okay. No, I thought you got in and got out. I was like, well, then what have I been doing wrong this entire time?
Yeah, the tricky part can be is they're pretty fast, and so you need to. I don't know if basically. Well, I'll wait till I'll have a picture to explain it in a minute. If Venom, how have things been going with you?
The ranking's been going fine, but I've ranked the new Harlock Alpha Behemoth, and I've found a slight issue with it, being that if missiles hit it from a Liberator, it will do about 90% damage to your hull, and then the next couple of shots will do practically nothing, which is rather interesting.
What?
How did you run into Liberators?
Oh, I got hit whenever I was ranking,
Oh, somebody didn't like you.
as usual.
Okay, just checking.
You're stealing
So
targets.
the first one did a lot of damage, and then it stopped working. Like it became immune.
Close to immune, yes.
Okay.
I have videos up about it already. I'm talking to Kixeye about it, but as usual, Kixeye don't really know what they're talking about.
I gotcha.
See also KB1,
What? Thanks.
the kinetic buffer, the FM thing. You said they don't know what they're talking about, and I provided a reference.
Okay.
Icebreaker
was
auto
right.
hull.
Flavor text.
Cesium UAV.
Well,
We're
I
gonna have
sent-
a list.
I sent them a video earlier, and apparently my Harlock Alpha is a Valiant, which has kind of confused me.
George, if we have a preponderance of evidence, do we just win?
I don't
Is that
know.
how that goes?
I'm not
no.
sure.
No.
Okay.
You don't win.
We
The
don't
more
win?
evidence you have, the more. No. The more evidence you provide them, the more likely they're going to just stop replying to you. That's what happened to me.
Hold
Well,
on.
I just imagine like in court, like the judge just gives a mercy rule, like, okay, fine, we're done, you win, bang.
I mean, I saw on the forums today that one of the mods was like, "Oh, there's been no change to the BB crew." That's the official answer. I'm like, I'm fairly confident that everybody knows that something happened to the BB crew.
Are we not rolling it anymore? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's disappeared.
I don't know if it's disappeared, but I'm guessing that the chance got changed. I mean, anecdotal evidence suggests that there has been a change to the drop rate.
Yeah.
I have this article. And I'm not sure about how practical it is anymore. Well, I wasn't sure when I wrote it.
It was fun.
It was, yeah, there were. I didn't know you could pack that much salt into a pair of quotation marks, but you can.
It didn't leak out the sides like we expected.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's just pure. It's
Yeah.
It's PIM salt. You're squishing the distance between the particles of salt.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that packet. I'm still convinced that packet that he has is Coke, not friggin' salt.
Yeah. Well.
See, there it is.
For reference. In case you're new to the show, you should probably get out what you can.
Now what's going on?
I don't know.
Somebody's
James is having an orgy over there.
An orgy.
An orgy. Orgy.
Yeah.
He's having an orgy. But anyway, so yes, I don't know. I don't know how much evidence you want of anything. I don't know if it actually matters, but CCM icebreaker, Reaver, friggin' the Reaver targets on the map that never changed. You know.
Oh yeah, those didn't change. It's okay.
I just want some honesty, for crying out loud. Anyway.
I just want some confidence, but we're never going to be happy.
Mhm. Does anybody? Hey, Brian, don't make me go look for the raid, the rant timer app. You know,
Do it.
I'm already working on putting this slide together.
I did that on Tuesday. It's going to be okay. Right? No, it's not okay.
I see. So, does anybody in YouTube chat have they been? What we've been describing is basically out, with your gridiron monoliths, which I think is probably the most important for most people that own it, because it's if you equipped it the way you're planning to equip it long term for use in the raid, it doesn't do a lot of damage. Are you guys able to basically create a situation where you can retreat from the 101 target? And if you haven't, maybe we can walk through that. If you have, if nobody cares, I won't deal with it. So, but go ahead. I'm just giving them a chance to chime in. And James, how's the orgy going? Nope, not listening.
No comment. He's busy.
I'm outside and we have a band gun and I got people walking around me right now.
Okay.
So Mary had a quick question in the chat about the mines. Why haven't they changed? I have no damn idea. I'm kind of curious. It's been over a month.
I thought they would. I thought we'd have gotten a state of the game by now. I mean, it's the first quarter's done. They've had a few weeks. Maybe the week after the first raid, I thought they would do it. Maybe have an addendum. Just a little quick thing about we wait a little bit because we wanted to talk about the first raid. Blah 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 blah. But no word at all. I really hope they tell us before they just change everything. It would be nice.
That would be
Yeah, I'm assuming they're trying to use the targets from the last raid and not piss off all the Ironclad owners that are already upset, because the Ironclad owners are probably quite happy with these current mines, and they're probably pissed off with a lot of other things associated with it, with the Ironclad.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, because we know that they're.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we know that they're trying to up the raid difficulty after the first one in the cycle, and it seems like that might have been up too high in the second and third iterations. So instead of having the damage as I imagine they do, because that is the simplest solution and also the laziest, maybe a quarter, a sixth, maybe lower the splash on the gun or the projectile speed so that quick Ironclads can sail through and not take all the damage. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, we're supposed to have a year on these hulls now, and who uses the cannoneers when you got Ironclads to pull this shit off?
Yeah.
I haven't used my cannoneers since the TLC.
And the biggest irony ever, an Ironclad has been found to do actually pretty well in a raid 107.
Yeah.
You just need different fleet to clean it up with.
Yeah, it also appears that Seawolves have worked on those targets as well.
He's talking about last raid.
Yeah,
okay.
last raid.
You're talking about this raid.
Oh yeah, the siege raid cycle. Ironclads would do well in 107, and this last thing. Yeah, Seawolves. I never took mine out. But that's pretty funny.
I mean, yeah, like I do know a couple people use the Cannoneers in the dubs. Like Mary just said that, and I was thinking Elflord did it as well. He showed me he actually did his damage-free run through a dub with Cannoneers. But I'm like, I have my Ironclad that does it for 4 minutes and like, I don't know, 50 seconds, sometimes 6 minutes. I can live with that. I mean, I don't know. It's just, and the targeting in the dubs is all jacked up now too. That's another one that I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, where's the year that I'm going to have of my Cannoneers now? And then how are they going to balance that so the Ironclads can actually be viable for the next year? And then that brings us to the next question. What the fuck is going on with the damn icebreakers?
Yeah. Well, I think if they left like a couple of the see, the problem would be readjusting it. Maybe leave in. They would probably have to get rid of the 97 because of the points it pays out, but leave maybe the 90 and then start adding in Cannoneer targets for the mines, but leave one or two, not the absolute top end, but leave some of the existing mines in there.
To balance the mines out, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about I'm still upset about the damn icebreaker, but I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, at this point, I don't know that they can fix it. Even if they wanted to fix it, it's kind of too late, isn't it?
Well, if they,
I don't think so.
well, I don't think so. I mean,
they're gonna piss
we had that
somebody
one
off.
raid. We had one raid where we were able to use it for prep, and it didn't work that well. But, the Punishers and the Citadels work better, but it still seems like it still has potential life on the next raid. I just don't know what it's going to be, because it's the monolith. The monolith action isn't that much. The action on the monolith isn't that much, and the gridiron monolith isn't that different from the gridiron with the monoliths. They're very similar.
The action in a gridiron and some monoliths is carefully maneuver these things into the proper hole and then swear a lot.
Yeah. The swearing is important, but yeah.
Because you can't fit the things into the hole that you wanted.
Yeah.
He said.
Yep.
That's a bad thing.
Not so much.
I couldn't resist.
No, I said it. I know what I said when I said it.
Well, that's good.
My biggest worry about the next raid's targets is this is supposed to be lowered, decreased damage because
easier.
of
Difficulty.
So,
Decreased difficulty.
Well, it's technically damage, right?
No.
No, there's
No.
other ways.
No, because look, what happens if next month they come back and all those fucking mines from the preview are back now? Oops.
Oh.
Difficulty. Difficulty can be several things. It could be damage. It could be increased health of the target. It could be different things added to it. It could be a different mechanic. Difficulty is a lot more dangerous than just damage.
Uh-huh. But if this is supposed to be the easier time, the easier raid of the three, then what are they going to do for the next raid? Are they going to make it harder for the icebreakers? It's going to be impossible to use them?
I don't know. I really don't know.
That is my worry. I mean, surely not impossible, because then, like, and George wrote an article on this a few days back where he basically said, yes, the icebreakers sucked and that pissed me off, but overall for the game, this was a good raid. And I tend to agree with that. The problem is it's completely untenable because no one's going to spend money on the new stuff if they know their old stuff is going to work better. So that can't happen anymore.
That
really.
Better is the problem. That better is exactly the problem. I mean,
I need to do some DPS math on the new stuff versus the old stuff, because we were doing some stuff in an after show once, and it was determined that the judgment mortars at skull rank on a really good ship have a higher DPS technically because their salvo of 2 versus the salvo of 4 of the OUs, like that cycle time difference of 0.4 seconds accounts for such a huge amount of the time that the DPS is actually just lower.
You better do that
So-
before I finish fitting these damn things out.
You better come into the TFC Open Mic After Show.
Yep. We tested the monoliths in the 89 and then my Empyreans in the 89. And the Empyreans seem to be doing slightly more damage with Judgment Mortars than the monoliths with the over-under.
Well, you kind of have to, hold everything okay, well, I'm about to contradict myself. Ideally, in an experiment, you'd want to hold everything constant except for one factor, that being the type of mortars that you use, and that's the only thing that you change. The problem is, especially with the max weight differences in these two ships and the lack of weight reduction for Legion components that we have, you can't. So I will need to do some numbers next week after I don't murder my group for management policy, and see if I can, assume this build for a Harlock Citadel and 3 other Citadels, and assume this build for 4 monoliths and a Gridirons monolith, I guess, and see what those are, because you can't fit all the OUs on a monolith. You can't. It's too much weight. So that was an important distinction. I'm not sure they took into consideration, as well as the salvo time, because I didn't believe the math. I didn't believe, because Huggies had done it, and I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And then I did the math, and no, it was conceptually sound. So I guess I'll need to do some more numbers. Offer my services to the company. Anyways, someone else talk.
No one.
I'm actually
that's
kinda
static.
curious.
Too early to ask the question, but you think that monolith it has to be 5 full?
I'm sorry, I couldn't
What?
hear you. What?
Too early to ask the question. I probably realize. But with
Ask
the
it anyway.
gun,
We'll
you think we need 4 trailing regular monoliths, or
That's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to have the grid in front and a Zelos in back,
okay?
because those ships are really fast and they fire a lot of things. And I don't think that my Gridiron Mono, because it doesn't have as many weapon slots, I don't think I can put enough counters on it to stop all the things.
Yep.
And I can't build a 4th mono raid, so
Yep.
something in
the
that
question was
slot.
going to be, or should we have some kind of a anti vessel in the rear with the trailing 3?
Yeah, I like the idea of protecting your rear in these raids. It seems like a good plan.
Oh
Yep.
my God, Brian.
Have to do that.
I am on fire.
That's good ones.
Only half an hour.
That's the clap.
So does any?
What?
I'm
Like I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
monolith. Like I kind of stopped building monoliths because of the fact that my citadels and my silos was working so well that I don't see the monoliths performing any better than what they are now. What those ships can do now.
And it's interesting because, like, you think that they're making the raid harder and they're going to make citadels and such more difficult to use, if not impossible. And the way it looks like they're doing that is the speed and projectile volume of the ships. But the thing is, the way that you get around that in your fleet design doesn't require anything specific to the new tech. Like, you might put charged armors on your backline, and that's a good idea, and that's what I'm going to do with my monoliths. But you could have, Harlock Citadel, 2 citadels, and a back tank and a front tank.
Yeah.
Or you could have, OUs and some Gales, or what I'm putting on my monos. Like, you could have that set up on a citadel as well. It would take a lot of refits and some adjustments in math, but you could do it. Like, there's nothing that makes me think, especially also because plenty of people got R5 Citadels for free, and those who didn't can start researching them, and I think they'll be done by raid number 3. Like,
Yeah,
it
50
doesn't.
days.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to me that there's a new, like, there's some magical
Speed.
answer in the new stuff. I mean, well, speed helps. But I
Hunter
don't think
Killer
it's
Mortar.
necessary.
I'm pushing for it. Remember that.
No.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
They have that. I'm sorry.
They
Go
do.
And they might actually do it.
ahead. But don't blame me. They already had it out
Oh
there.
no, I'm completely blaming
Because
you.
people
What
were
happens?
blaming me
You are the
for
only one.
That was like major
Championing this
popular.
What?
That was like major popular.
Then,
Yeah, everybody
then
loved
we
Hunter
then we
Killer.
start split putzing with our citadels and what is life.
Yes.
I didn't mind it too much.
Yeah, but what happens if they make, it just seems like the speed seems to be the big thing. Daniel came over with his, which is a faster, cheaper build relatively. His Monarchs with the weight control, that seemed to provide a monolith fleet.
No, that was a Citadel fleet.
No, but yeah, I understand it's a Citadel, but it seemed to provide a monolith fleet by the increased speed of the Citadels. By
Mhm.
increasing the speed of the Citadels, you've basically turned them into monoliths.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have to worry about the speed ups or anything like that. You've already got that additional speed.
Mhm.
Oh, also fun fact. Well, fun. The mortar critical chance of the field that the gridiron provides is actually going to do you a greater benefit with judgments than with OUs because your damage per projectile is higher on judgments, like 3050 or whatever, versus the OUs of 2400 whatever.
Mhm. Well, does it really matter how much per projectile is? Because we're not talking
When
about
you're doubling the damage of an individual projectile, it
Yeah.
matters very much. Yes,
Yes.
it's about a 1200 damage difference in what you're hitting versus what you're not, which could lead up to a 20% quicker time to kill if you're lucky.
But
Could
wait,
save
wait,
you the whole
wait.
salvo.
But if it's critical chance, I mean, assuming these don't have deflection, and it's a fixed critical chance, you're multiplying that by the number of projectiles and the damage. If the total damage at the end of the day is the same,
Oh, the DPS has a
but you're having more critical hits with more projectiles, right?
Oh, I see. You want me to run a trial based on projectiles. Okay, give me like 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Don't forget about
I have Excel open for a reason.
Yes.
Let's
Well,
do
you
this.
understand what I'm saying. If you have more
Oh, yeah.
projectile, yeah. It seems to be like it should be a wash as long as the DPS at the end of the day is close to a
Yeah.
wash.
Wow.
The DPS percentage increase, in theory, should be the same. It's a 30% increase on either side. I'm just thinking in terms of projectiles. And you're right, that might not be the right way to think about it. So I'll take a look here and see what's
Okay.
This is
Hey,
why
Mary,
we
how
have
you doing?
Brian.
I mean, I thought per projectile was only reasonable. I mean, how do you say?
It only matters against deflection.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
kind of, but no, his point is because you're firing more things, you're going to get a greater
More
amount of critical
Lots of
hits.
critical hits. Yeah.
That
So
might
it
make up
should be a wash, and so you're more likely on a regular basis to get more critical hits, as opposed to getting the big boom. You're going to get more smaller booms.
It's 12%? 12% for RD30?
Mhm.
Okay.
What about the coaxial? The coaxial has larger DPS than, but I think it gets reduced because it has the concussive,
Are
That's
you
the
talking about the rocket or the mortar?
the mortar.
Yeah, that's
No.
the assumption. No, well, that would be the
No.
assumption. If we saw the data mining associated with the raid, normally the raid targets, when they say they have a weakness, that means that everything has a 95% resistance, except for those damage types that are listed as a weakness. So yeah, the concussive, the coaxial firestorm has a large percentage of its damage is concussive.
Mhm.
And so if in fact,
If I wrote you
all right,
If by large you mean like 13%.
Mhm.
Well,
It's like 500 and something versus 3,500.
Yeah, it's small, but it's there.
well, it's there, but it's what I'm saying is then the DPS favors the judgment at that point
Mhm.
from memory.
Yeah, and also there's the Merv thing that you can't really put a number to.
Yeah, we love the Mervs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The executioners have anti-mortars, and I still don't know why.
Executioners.
What?
Okay. Hey, Mary, how are you doing? We haven't
in
really.
the raid.
And they did?
What are you
What?
talking about? What?
Someone-
Executioners. I mean, you're okay.
In
Do
the
your
raid-
numbers.
In the raid, the executioners had an anti-mortar capability because sometimes they would make my judgments Merv when they were the only thing anywhere near it.
Which executioners?
I thought that was some kind of glitch.
The ones in the raid.
Yeah. I thought it was some kind of glitch where it kind of you see them kind of merge.
Executioners. Oh. The dead. I was thinking
The
of
dead eyes, yeah.
I was thinking of enforcer. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I was a little like I don't remember. Seeing
There's a
those.
neat trick.
Yeah. And those are actually called long tails according to the data
Yeah.
mine.
Oh,
And short
whatever.
ones are guillotines. But let me try again. Mary, how are you doing?
I'm good. I figured out what you guys were talking about. That 89. That one spot nailed me yesterday.
Oh, where like all of a sudden your backships die?
Yeah.
You got any ideas?
I have absolutely no idea except for maybe a ghost mine or something.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's. I mean, because some people run into it at times and not at others. I'm sort of wondering if it's related to the mortar that's out there, and you've maneuvered your tank into such a position that your mortar shuckers are no longer guarded by your antis, and maybe some weird angle because there is that mortar in there. Does that possibly play into it?
It happened to me after the mort was destroyed. Yeah.
How long? But like 15 seconds later, or like 5 seconds later?
Oh no, quite a bit after.
Okay, because I'm saying those things hang up in the air for a while.
My randomized Zealous, though, it pretty much has always got my backlines in its anti-mortar range, so
Yeah, because we run into that a little bit on the 109s. That occasionally, at least when I'm running through the top, occasionally when I'm running across the top of that target, all of a sudden a mortar gets through.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense that it should, because 99% of the time it doesn't. But there's a certain spot on the north end of that target in the 109s where, 1 in 6, 1 in 7, a mortar will slip through. Sometimes it doesn't impact my ships. I've already moved them out of the way, but I'll see it land behind my ships or near my ships.
Have you noticed that in the 101 targets as well? Not the mort, but the executioners are starting to do that as well. So your tank will start shooting, but it'll just skip some. So say there's one in front of the other, it will skip the first one, just go straight to the second one, start shooting it instead.
I haven't really engaged personally. I haven't engaged the towers in that target. I try to stay away from that. I'm purely going for VXP. If you're talking about the current 101s out on the map?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really engaged them that much because you're not getting VXP from hitting them. Only the damage they provide. So, I'm more hitting the ships. So I don't have, not been doing much on that one.
I didn't notice that I've killed the whole thing with my Liberators.
Okay. I can see that. You didn't notice?
Nope, didn't notice it.
You didn't. Oh, you didn't notice that. Okay. I thought you did. You said you didn't notice that you killed the whole thing with your Liberators, but you didn't notice that that mechanic.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
could be just with you have a tank in there, some kind of issue, or I don't know.
You
Okay.
think they're letting because they're in the raid they're not letting conquer hulls in the targets that they're letting deflection go through, like be applicable?
Nah. I don't think so.
Well, we still have the deflection from the D5X and D5M, so
Yeah. I just brought this slide up. I took it on the wrong monitor, but just to show generally what I was trying to do. Where's my little laser button? Okay, but basically, if you can see it, I would just using the gridiron. I would go all the way across here, kill one of the shipyards, and then come back, and then go all the way to the top, which is not on the screen, and all the way back to the bottom. And you would, that's what I was referring to earlier, as far as an ability to have not be able to kill anything, but be able to retreat. Because the missile ships, I think the mortar ships are firing at you and don't follow that quickly behind. And so once you get back down in this area for the third time, you're able to retreat at that point. So I just thought if people weren't clear on what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I was taking out those bottom two shipyards, and that would spawn that lower fleet to come out.
Yeah.
And take those out, and then just sit there, and could get out and come back in, and then go back up and get the shipyards and get the second fleet.
Yeah, well, I was more referring to something that doesn't have, because a lot of people did a very minimalist build on their ships, and so they're not able to actually kill anything. And what I'm talking about is sort of defraying your damage across multiple hits to increase your VXP.
Gotcha.
And especially with like the gridiron is the example. The gridiron, a lot of people, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of people only put like one Harrier missile or whatnot on there. So you're not killing anything with that, and you're not doing a huge amount of damage. But what happens with that hull, with the amount of armor, if you just let it get killed in one shot, like you only enter the target and get killed, you're maxing out on your VXP. So, but if you're able to enter the target and retreat and take, 20% damage, then go back in, take 20% damage, and keep on doing that, you're going to get probably at least twice as much VXP doing it that way, as opposed to just going in there and dying in one fell swoop. And that's more what I was talking about.
I understand what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I just run my monos with my Zelos for anti with thud ones on them, right up to the mortar chuckers, and they sit there and pound away on it. The mortar chuckers are targeting my Zelos. It's just shooting all the missiles and mortars out of the sky, and they're just sitting there pounding away for 8-10 minutes.
What are your mortar? They don't have that many on it?
No, my monos have 0 mortars, but they have one thud one on each of them.
Oh, okay.
Tank just taking mortars.
Okay. Yeah, so it's in that instance, it's pretty much only the damage that you're taking that's being really stacking on your VXP. It's not the damage that you're dishing out with the thud ones.
No, I take 0 damage.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you're taking damage, but I'm saying that's where your VXP is coming from, as opposed to damage that you're doing. Which
Yeah.
Brian, you figured it all out?
Getting there. It looks like it makes a very small difference as we go up with
Yeah.
that 30%. It does make a difference, but it's very small, almost negligible, and it's looking like the OU 110 is a little ahead. I'll need to recheck the numbers when I'm not doing what is basically live math, which is weird because that's not what I found last week. But okay.
Yeah, I went and changed the numbers just so I could be right.
I compared the Citadel to the Monolith, so it's not, it's not the best case, but I figure a lot of
Mhm.
people would be putting mortars on or OUs on their monos, and it's the other thing.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, I think one of the big things is I think that a lot of people have questions about and really can't be answered till we see what changes are made to the target is where to put your charged armors and why. And I think that's probably going to what?
I'm giving everybody one charged armor of each type. The 3 in the middle, front tank, back tank. There's going to be some resist to back it up, but I have all the armors and they're not doing any good on my icebreakers, so I figured I might as well try.
Yeah, but you're projecting. I'm just saying at this point we don't really know. No.
Oh yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. It's just, educated guesses and whatnot. And it would be nice to know if they are going to bring in the Hunter Killer Mortar.
I think it's a pretty safe bet on no.
I think
Like a very safe bet.
Well, because on the Wednesday show we brought up, like, what are they going to do to change this target? And we're like, well, probably more damage on the back line. And somebody was complaining about that we even brought up that fact that we were giving them ideas. So I'm being more overt with providing them ideas of adding the Hunter Killer Mortar, in which I seriously doubt will happen.
That Reaver Tech and a Drac thing.
Yeah.
While you're also fighting the Legion. At that point, we're just missing Scourge.
Yeah. Well, as the raid progresses, maybe other people decide to join the fray.
It's like that god awful Warzone thing taken to extremes.
Yeah. Cuttlefish is asking if you're using Python.
I'm using Excel.
Okay.
I don't know coding.
So, well, I have the slides available. If there's anything that anybody would like to talk about that's, relevant to the new technology or whatnot, I can bring up some of the new technology, or if there's anything else that anybody would like to talk about, either here or my favorite is the well, we talked a little bit about, did you do anything else with I'll share this at this point, but was there anything, Brent, we talked about the raised scattergun and what's available with it at this point. Have you found any other uses besides just use of the Valiant? Like, is there anything else that we might do with not the Blight Acid clusters, which I think are a great special, between the weight makes it sort of a unitasker if the other bonus for the +2 multi-shot, like on the emission generator of radioactive, doesn't matter for you because you're saving 7% on weapon weight. But I'm already putting this on my Valiant. But as far as a use for the raise versus the Calamity,
if you think the meta is not going to include anything with corrosive resistance, and you want to put on narrowed firing aperture along with explosive system 4 to really minimize that spread, then maybe. I just tried to throw together a Pride build in a few minutes for lulz. I didn't come to any big conclusions on it. I just wanted to mess around in the shipyard and figure out what one looked like. And if you keep it alone, all those damages to corrosive, or all the bonuses to corrosive damage from Prideful and its inherents and everything else, it looks to do okay. It wouldn't melt anything without corrosive resist because they have turret defense and not corrosive deflection. So
Okay,
might be okay.
I gotcha. Let's see. Anybody else have anything? I'm trying to get rid of my taskbar. I have everything. I'm going to stop presenting.
I think
'Cause
everybody's
I have everything set up on the wrong computer
okay.
because I didn't plan on using the slides. So it's I have 2 monitors, so everything's backwards. But go ahead, Daniel.
I was gonna say that it looks like the only thing I can say is that everything was and the slides were said the other show. So yeah, like that special, we could use it for the ×2 multi-shot for instead of the barrel system or the what was the other one that we use? The generator.
Emission generator.
Yeah. And the RAS seems good for prepping.
Yeah.
But prepping if you can.
Good.
Prepping if you can make it all the way to the back of the base and not have to deal with walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't you pretty much there if you make it past to the back of the base?
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, people kept on saying it, as part of a prep fleet, but it still needs to get past the walls, and this doesn't look like a something that's going to get through the walls that easily.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, a hyena might just legitimately out damage you if it's by the center island, because that thing is obvious garbage against buildings.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it for prepping because God forbid someone puts something behind walls and then it's impossible. I wanted to speak on the KB1 for a second because I learned something since I last talked about it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Okay.
and it's been stated that if you put it on the outpost, instead of that 70% within 90, you get minus 30% speed, the whole map, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't know is that that minus 30%, it's like accuracy in evade. It's so if they have 100% normally and they have 100% based on a flagship effect and they have 100% based on HVR, so 300%, let's say, their stuff lands 3 times as fast,
Mm-hmm.
and you have that up minus 30%, that actually takes 30% of that whole 300% away. So they are left with 70% of 300% or 210%. So it's firing, almost 2/3 as fast. And that could be pretty important. It's a little less important at high speeds, but that's nice to know. I didn't know that. And
Oh.
I might do some math and maybe consider it. I don't think I will, though. I like explosives death.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of putting it on the outpost, maybe. But if I put this on a warehouse on the outside, what would be the would they get the 30 or would they get the 70 if they get in the field?
If the ship gets within 90 of the KB1,
Mm-hmm.
they get minus 70.
Okay.
If
So
you
the
have
70 overrides the 30. It doesn't stack.
No, they don't stop.
I was afraid. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Afraid that was a
According
question.
to Laredo on TFC chat, and then I don't know if it was Laredo or another mod in the on the forums.
I'm still
these
going to say
two-
citation needed.
What's that KB1 used on?
Warehouses.
anything?
well, not research generators. There's too much power, but warehouses, maybe some labs, your outpost. Not
Okay,
not
thanks.
turrets.
Not turrets?
Not turrets.
Oh, okay.
You're saying don't use it there, or you can't use it there?
You can't. Right?
I don't know. It doesn't slap on like. I don't know. How is
I'm
this?
about to find this out because I don't think it does.
But you don't own it. Okay, go ahead.
No, I own it. I just never.
You own it.
I just didn't think it would.
Hacker.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. No, because then it'll give me an error pop up if I try to put it on, and I can put it on. I wouldn't be. Whatever.
Yeah, it says
I'll
you
look.
need the intelligence lab of 1.
Level 1. Yeah,
Mhm.
I forgot about that. I don't think it. Compound panels B and D. No, I'm not seeing it in the options to put onto a turret. So
Okay.
no.
With the
Yeah.
tack installation, that's why.
Yeah, it's attack installation. It goes.
Oh, it's
on
attack.
the
It's
labs.
okay.
I
They
thought
don't
you were
actually
trolling.
say that.
I thought you were trolling me.
Well, it doesn't actually say that anywhere. Nobody owns it.
Yes, it does in the description.
Oh yeah. This tactical. I'm sorry. Yeah, it does. Sentence 4 or line 4. Sorry about that.
To be fair, the blueprints haven't always given a clear idea of how these items work either. See reference Gridiron Monolith.
Yes. Well,
Ironclad.
I got 2 on my Valiant at this point, and they're working well.
So that's Cake's expectations not lining up with how things are used. See reference everything else. I don't care.
Bacon.
Yeah.
No, bacon works exactly how you think it does. It's delicious.
I have a guy that told me about his tiger sharks. He put 9 Charian, 1 Sticks, a Mimic, Arab Ablative Armor 3, Speed System 5, Radio, Reflective Coating 3, and 4 D4CT. In Huggies, you can put this all on it if you have a Dock 12 and a Shipyard 4. But when he went to Kiki's site, and when he's on his map trying to build it, they said it's overweight.
The hell's he trying to do with that?
I don't
And
know.
what's Kiki's site? I'm listening.
I mean, on his battle parts, when he's on battle
Oh,
parts.
okay. Okay. It was.
Huggies isn't always accurate to 100%. It's within 99%, so there's going to be some discrepancy.
And yet we still use it so much more than actual kicks. It's so good.
Well, we don't use it as much before we had that. Remember, we didn't have the design component in the shipyard. The design
Yeah.
option.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Admittedly, I do wish you could, like, if you save a design, I wish I could bring a ship up into the refit lab and say, hey, make this into that. Not like, oh, hey, I'm going to start building this now, blank hull and all. No, just make this into that, and we're done.
Oh, while you're building.
Yeah, just like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. That basically, if you're building something, you can't. You can't bring in an existing ship and try and figure out how long it's going to take or the stats
Oh,
are.
no,
You have to rebuild the whole thing in the design and the design portion.
Oh, no, not that. I was meaning, like, my shipyard's free, and I have a monolith. It's got 1 mortar and an SS5, and I have its design saved. And I want to make this mono into that mono, but when I loaded it, it's acting like I want to build the whole completely new, and I don't want to do that. Just make this thing that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't trust them to actually do that, would you?
It works for me.
God no.
Yeah, even if.
Congratulations, you. The winner is you.
Click on refit in the fleet, load a design on the shipyard, click build, there it goes.
Huh. All right. I'll have to test that next time versus the amount of time it takes to build a whole completely blank.
But Mary, did you have to have the weapons in the right place?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can't, if you have something in the wrong slot, it may take you an extra couple of days or something, right?
Yeah, if it has to refit that slot as well.
Yeah. So anything else anybody can think of?
You can try
I
and
haven't
figure-
checked to see if any questions in weapon specials add a percentage power to okay, static, okay.
You could try and figure out the Alpha Behemoth issue I have.
Oh,
If
did
you
you?
would like to see it.
Night, guys.
Nightmare.
Wait, is that ship or is this just the Alpha Behemoth in
This is the
general?
new flagship.
Fuck.
What did you want to
All right, what's
screen
the
share?
problem?
Did you want to screen share? Is that the video that you put up
Yeah.
earlier?
Yeah, it's the video I put up earlier. I
Oh,
can screen
okay.
share if you want.
Yeah,
I'll
why don't
take
you
it.
screen share it? I'll put you on present.
Oh, cool. Even better. Saves time. Fuck's sake.
So you may notice something kind of odd when the Liberators reach. So the first shot does that much damage with full armor, and then does nothing.
Why can't I see you?
Huh.
Let's check the video.
Does this seem odd to anyone else?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out any reasoning behind it.
It kind of looks like the UAVs.
Well, the U is he's moving the whole time, so it wasn't like it's missing behind him because it's hitting him right away.
Hmm.
You already damaged?
Pardon?
Were you already damaged?
No, full health. It goes from
No,
full health and just drops all the way down in the first shot.
Wait. Are you talking about what's happening to the Alpha or what's happening to the Liberators?
To the Alpha here.
As far as the damage it's taking?
Yep. So that's the first shot. That's the second volley.
Okay, it's taking less.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it applied deflection at all the first time, and the second
No.
and thereafter it looked like reasonable deflection versus Liberator versus shifts.
It looks almost the same for this ret, which happened earlier today as well. So I had, in context, I had one of the Alpha Behemoth there. It died one shot.
Okay,
but if you watch,
So
you
it
watch-
might be
I
it
think
might
it's
be something with
with
the Liberator.
So that's the
What
first
armor do
shot.
you have on your Harlocks?
I've got the pen deflection armor. So
How many?
on that Harlock it was 4. But
Really?
it seems to only apply after the first shot hits. So the first shot's hit this ret. That also has penetrative deflection armor. This is the second shot here, which does considerably less again.
I'm trying to
So
look at you.
I had a Harlock, the Harlock with no armor in earlier before the VXP started, and 3 Liberators hit it, and it took a couple of shots to damage it. But once I refitted with the armor, you had this effect happening again. And I can't see anywhere where it shows this issue. I don't know if anyone else is having this issue yet either, because everyone's focusing on VXP.
I mean, there was because the radio plates have a high minimum pass through, but even then, you shouldn't be getting hit that hard. That was one volley, and I know
Yep.
Liberators have great damage. I've done the math, but that's 130,000 plus armor. It's got to chunk through, and some good old pen deflection to chunk through.
Yep.
Even normally, it probably shouldn't be dealing that much damage with a single volley. I don't get it.
Kixeye don't get it either. Kixeye thinks that's a Valiant.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. I'll grab this for you. It's hilarious.
Is this a CS reply or is that okay?
So,
Penetrative stacking up. Okay, so there's a bigger mistake here. Could you please
Okay.
move that out of your screen so I can see the yeah. So that bloodthirst
Yep.
that they're trying to talk about, that's 0. It isn't there. Like that's the start of the fight. It's the I mean, I was going to make a disparaging comment about the ability of
They have.
CS.
I sent them
It's
both.
not entirely.
I sent them both the videos. So there was the. Go back to where they actually hit. You've got this the Harlock here. There's a dead. That's one shot. But yeah, that's their Valiant there.
Uh-huh.
So unless there's something seriously wrong with the ship itself, or
Oh, and it didn't take into account deflection at all, which is the well, no, it might not matter actually if their score isn't powered up, because that was a pretty full bloodthirst bar.
Yeah.
Even minus 3,000 a shot, if with no armor, that might have been able to one shot that. But with pen plates, it shouldn't.
it's
Oh man.
it's this damage at the start which is concerning.
Yeah,
Going
and
on
confusing.
after.
Like that is literally the one job that this thing has for a lot of us is to outrange liberators with the thrower. Maybe it's
Mhm.
spotting for a backline, or maybe you have a lot of defenders and you're getting the plus 35% splash bonus. But if it's going to melt that quick, it doesn't matter.
The issue I'm finding is whether or not it's to do with the hull itself, or if there's something not quite right with the coding of the game at the moment. And if it is to do with the coding in the game, I have some
Well.
serious issues coming this week.
I mean,
You might need to be a little more specific. Coding issue of the game.
I've
It's-
noticed.
Coding is hard. I don't do coding, but I understand that coding is hard.
We can all agree it's hard. It's just if this is taking out all of the deflection in one go, so the first hit has no deflection. Come battles this week, you're going to have people hitting bases practically free. Because you're not the first hit that the Liberator's going to take on your guard. It's going to have no deflection against their missiles, so they're just going to walk in.
Yeah.
That's my fear, that this week's going to have a lot of trouble if they don't.
Wait,
I mean,
so what does work from this raid list? Because the Icebreaker didn't work. Now it's looking like the Alpha isn't working. The Gridiron is bugged because the circle is offset and shouldn't have existed in the first place.
Don't get
Does
me
the
wrong.
Visago's Icebreaker work? Because
Against
that's the Empyrean MX Prime, because that's what we're getting down to here.
against Pride, it's very good. But against Liberators, this is happening. It'll melt the Pride, and the Pride will hardly damage it. It's just missiles are not its friend at the moment, and I don't think it's a friend of anyone at the moment, from at least what I've seen.
Is there anything on? I might have missed it. Do you have any? Is there like pen plate or something on it, or what? Is there armors on it?
Yeah, that's fully armored.
But with pen plates, or what's on it?
Yeah, it's only got pen plate 1, but it still shouldn't take that huge damage at the start, and then low damage again.
Okay.
I can agree that
I don't know the staggering of the damage, but as far as the amount of damage, the fact that the damage appears to be decreasing is odd, with the initial damage being huge and then it seems to be decreasing each salvo. That part appears to be odd.
I can agree that it'll take a lot of damage because it's a low level pen plate, but it's that staggering that's concerning.
Yeah, I don't understand that part of it.
You said pen plate 1?
Yep. Well,
But I mean, that's minuscule.
Oh, not six. What?
You're talking about 4 or 1?
4.
4. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I heard 1 the first time.
Very
but
different.
Yeah.
It's got over 10,000 deflection. That helps.
Okay.
It should, in theory, not melt that fast.
Even with critical hits, I mean, a
The only
fully.
The only other thing I can see is on the hull itself, it has a minus 50% evade. I had another video where the ships were over at this side and you could see it missing after the first round. So after the first volley, everything started missing. But even that it still doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, I mean, the decreasing damage. I mean, if we saw it, I mean, you have the other one, so it's happened twice, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, one thing would be, just small numbers. If we saw it happen once,
But it's not even that hull as well. There's your normal ret with, it's also got 2 of the pen armors on it. It takes the first shot and it does that much damage. Your second shot's coming in and it does that much damage.
Wait, is that the second one in the base? Is that a gamma or that's the Harlock?
That's a gamma there.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we've only seen this happen. How many times have you seen this happen? Is I guess the question, because this is a whole different example.
Every time.
Okay, so you've run it. Well, how many times is that?
Well, I've run it about 10 times so far.
With the Harlock, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah, if it happens every time, yeah, that's something. I was just wondering if it was some weird, one-off glitch, and that's why I was asking. So yeah, I have no clue why the damage would decrease every time. So yeah, no idea. I'd be curious to see what your response is from customer support, because I don't see anything. I was looking at the blueprint. I don't see anything that would cause that.
Oh, were you not around to see what he posted on screen? Where they called it a Valiant?
Oh no, I missed that. Okay.
There we go. Watch this.
Can you zoom in a little bit? I can't. Thanks for writing in. Liberator has a special ability, penetrative damage of this will. But it didn't kill anything, so I didn't have bloodthirst, for example. It's hard for me to read on my screen.
I'll read it if you put it back up.
This is what they're trying to call the Valiant.
I see.
That's up there.
For example, because it's very small on my screen. This is what. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I'm always fascinated by the names because they're all made up names. If you run a Google search for Vernon Thompson, I bet there's not one in the world, but that's a whole different issue.
That completely, and there's also pen deflection on the Valiant, so that mathematically is impossible.
Yeah.
Well, it's incorrect at least.
Oh well, I guess we're not going to solve this one.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is be very careful coming this week.
I'm glad I didn't.
Because if that is a bug, which from what I see, it's happening to my ret in the base as well. So come this week, if it is a bug, where we're going to have a difficult week.
Should we hit Daniels?
Sure. I have pen plates on my. I've refitted my guard with pen plates, so I kind of noticed that when someone hit me a few days ago, that all of a sudden the Liberator fleet was able to just walk my base like nothing, even with all the pen plate armors. When a few like a few days before then, the Liberators were having a very tough time.
Mhm.
So maybe that could be what happened. I'm not sure. I thought the same thing. I didn't think it was a bug. I thought it was like some kind of fluke that maybe it was because he had different armors on different missiles or something on his Liberators that was different from the other hit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we could try, and I only have Brian, how many Liberators do you have? Brian?
I'm technically 1.5,
Okay.
and I don't even think the first one's. I don't even think the one is a proper one just yet.
Okay. I only have one. I'm trying to figure out who else is in the 400s that we could run a demo and figure out if we see the same thing in Daniels and see if it's the hull or something just odd with the combination of the build. But yeah, I only have one as well that's built.
I have 5, but I don't unless you guys have the something with pen plates on it.
No. We were talking about your
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have one of those even in the shipyard yet.
Okay.
So I guess
Yeah, I did notice something like right before the raid. I did notice one Liberator fleet did manage to walk my base, and they did have the penetrative plates on them. Like I have penetrative at least 2 of them on my my 2 alphas, and my Valiant. And I noticed that it just went right through like nothing.
yeah, and yours just has the cannon on it, right?
Hmm?
Your
I'm talking about my other alphas. I have 2 alpha behemoths, regular ones, not the Harlock.
yeah, but I mean, your Harlock only has like a Thud 1 and
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to try it with 1 and see if we see something similar?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay, I mean, if you launch, do you want to screen share? If you launch, and I will, so we can see.
I gotta bring in my guard. Hold on, they're actually on guard duty.
Okay, I knew they were out ranking up earlier. I'm just saying I could.
Yeah, hi there.
I think I'll leave you with this conundrum. See if you see anything else. It's 1 a.m. here, so.
Okay, we were just about to make another test with Daniel's version and see if we see at least a similar trend. I'm only going to be using one, one Liberator.
Let me try to put something else as guard fleet right now.
I tested it with 1 as well. It didn't matter whose Liberator fleet it was.
Yeah. What I'm trying to isolate is it something odd with the way your build is getting coded, or is it just the hull by itself? And so I'm assuming that Daniel's isn't built exactly like yours is, to see if we see a similar trend. That's all I was going for.
Yeah, I'll tell you how much deflection mine has.
Before I put armor on it, it hit with 3 Liberators, and it didn't have that drastic damage change. It just was static the whole way through.
Okay.
So it has 8,943 deflection with 2 pen plate 6 armors. And I have them at R13, going to 14.
Okay. I'm gonna be. I have a Liberator out to the right of you.
All right.
I'll be on chat watching, but I have to go now.
All right.
Okay.
Later.
Good luck testing.
No problem. Thank you.
Are you on screen share or am I on screen share?
You're on screen share.
Oh.
Whoops, I should put you on present. Let's see. I'm finding all these windows. 1 second. And
Should I
1
start
second.
screen sharing right now?
Give me a second here. Google Hangouts. I will put you on present. And you can either do it now or wait till we get in the battle, however you want to do it. I mean, if you
there you go.
okay, or you see where I am? Can you come over there?
No, I don't.
Or to the right of you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there.
Okay.
Don't get close to this one. This one kills a lot of things fast.
Wait, I thought you said it didn't have anything on it but the inherent weapon.
No. This is only my guard fleet has armor. My Harlock Alpha has nothing.
No, this is a Valiant. I'm trying to do the yeah. What we were trying to test was the hull.
Oh.
Yeah, not the Valiant. We were trying to test the Harlock Alpha and figure out if there's something inherent with that hull.
Oh, I thought you were testing the penetrative plates.
No. Because the penetrative plates have been doing okay for a bit. So we haven't seen what Venom was showing until this hull came out. So yeah, you can go off screen share for a bit.
All right.
Until, because we don't want to kill these both off for no reason.
Yep. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't understand. I thought you were talking about pen plates.
Oh, no problem. No, I was just wondering if it was something inherent with his hull or somehow the way it had been combined all together.
Mm-hmm.
And
he had pen plate armor on it, though. That's the big deal.
Yeah, but people haven't been seeing that issue with the pen plates before, correct? So more my issue was trying to figure out if there's something, something dealing with the hull that was causing that oddness. So
okay,
eliminate that first, because does yours have yours does or does not have pen plate on it?
Mine doesn't have anything on it, just the thud.
That's perfect. See that now we can isolate it down just to the hull itself, and if we see the same mechanism happening with a hull with thud 1, then we've isolated it to the hull itself, not to combinations with other things.
Okay.
So that's more my thought. So we got 3 minutes till this time's out.
Sorry, I'll get the other one out.
No, and we just learned, according to this, Vernon Thompson was the 34th governor of Wisconsin.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and
how the mighty have fallen. Side grading.
Well, I'm guessing the 34th governor of Wisconsin is probably a little older at this point. Like older, underground older. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. We can hear back from chat to see if Vernon Thompson is actually dead. I'm guessing yes. Oh, he works for Kixeye now. Let me see if Vernon.
So sometimes Kix is about as honest as some politicians. So
Yeah. He died in '88. And then Kixeye, you get a lot of tax breaks if you hire the dead. That explains a lot too.
As someone who has recently finished their accounting research course, I have never heard of such a deduction.
Yes, well.
Pretty sure that you shouldn't actually do that.
Well, if you think about it, the dead, do you have to give them Social Security?
I mean, you can get. You can just not pay them. You can just not pay them, and they won't notice.
Yeah, but are you paying them FICA?
Federal income? Well,
no, probably not. I don't think you pay the dead FICA.
Yeah, I don't think that's covered in
Yeah.
in any rule I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So you could totally not do that.
hmm Yeah. So, labor law, accounting, it's all here on the show, folks.
We are not responsible for any dumb shit that you do.
yeah.
That's the disclaimer at the bottom.
Yeah. So, just throwing that out there. And OSHA rules don't apply to the dead. So,
Ironically, even if they died because of a safety hazard.
yes, well, no, you hire them after they're dead. You don't hire them before they're dead. But
what
whatever.
if their rotting limbs fall off? You got to reattach them.
Well, only if it hits one of the living.
No, I'm pretty
then
sure.
it becomes a problem.
All right, there we go.
Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to hit
You get Medicare.
this one. And
Share.
Yep. And Daniel. Oops, you're still in present, so we're good.
Yeah.
Yep, I can see this thing totally happening. Daniel's
That's the range of the cannon. The inherent
slow down.
cannon. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think I might.
It's like 105.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 106, so let's see if we can even snipe it.
A little closer than that.
You're on a pretty good circle.
You have a one range.
Yeah. There we go. Well, still
We
fire.
got hit.
Missed me.
Shouldn't it have 3,000 inherent?
That was 5 salvos. I counted.
But it didn't appear to take.
The first one kicked its butt.
Do you think it took a lot more damage on the first one than the other ones, or it seemed to be? It seemed to take a fair amount of damage with each salvo.
Should have been recorded.
I think there was a little variance, but the variance was smaller than what we saw before.
Yeah.
We can look on the playback when you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Unless we do it again, I'm gonna take my shit back. But yeah, I don't think we saw the. We didn't see what we saw before.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But yeah, you took a lot of damage. I mean, this is. It's got a well. But the only thing that might have balanced it out is the fact that it has a bunch of scorias on it, so that would have been doing more damage on the rear end.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that seems to make sense. So, because it should have shown more damage on the rear end as opposed to the front end after you drop below 25% or 50%.
Yeah, it should be as soon as it gets down to I think 50% with the scorias. It was 25 for the hell race. What was it called? The torpedoes, the fire twisters.
Yeah, I think it's. Let me double check on the scoria.
So I should go back out of presenter.
Yeah, you can stop screen sharing.
All right.
I mean, unless I mean, we didn't see anything in there that was as dramatic as what we saw before. So
yeah,
I don't know if there's any reason to blow your ship up again.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was interesting that it missed. The ballistic.
Oh, you're talking about the ballistic.
Yeah.
Yours is evade build. You have a agility system 4.
I think just GS3. I have evade of 66. Yeah, I do have GS4 on this one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But GS3 gives the same amount. But yeah, I had 66.
Mhm.
And it was only one shot, so. But, you know, I was just wondering if it was because it was moving, because it's a dumbfire ballistic weapon, which is potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't see anything quite as crazy.
Did it even slow you down at all? I don't think it did.
It didn't hit me.
Oh, it didn't. Yeah.
I had well, it showed damage, but it was 0 seconds.
Okay.
And then I hit repair. No, I didn't even hit repair on the mat, but it shows 0 seconds. So,
Mhm.
well,
Oh, it does have a splash of 20. Look at that. So it could be dumbfire.
yeah, probably is dumbfire.
Probably is.
So, does anybody have
But I
anything
wanna
else?
know. I wonder, because that's a thing that I wonder if you put like nuclear accelerator on, if that range will magically become 150. I doubt it,
Yeah, I doubt that. Yeah.
but it'd be funny.
So, anything else that we have?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
Not
Well,
really relevant.
okay. Well, I might. If anybody would like to join the after show, I guess I was worn out. I think everybody should watch. I was at. Didn't have a lot of points to make because I think we made on Wednesday's show. We made a lot of good points that I wasn't sure if I wanted to make again if it's all the same people watching it. But I think the Wednesday show was one of the best that we've done in a while.
Yep.
But if you'd like to join us for the after show, there's the link, and see everybody Saturday, Wednesday, whenever. And thanks for joining us.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.